building has come up as one of the most suggested idea. I have tried it myself. I do have a community myself, but it is exhausting. It is very exhausting, and gradually I have seen that the graph goes down. Like people join, they have the sense of belongingness. They love to be a part of it. They say that they were looking for something like this, but then somehow gradually they lose the track because of many genuine reasons, also personally, professionally. So how can a platform or an idea, business idea, which is community building, when it is so difficult to sustain, like idea is good to start with and to prepare also and to design and create also, but sustaining a community, it's really a big challenge. And I have observed it, with various platforms, with many phases.
Right.
And I see that with other people also. So how can this be? Like, I just have like curiosity, like, no, I'm not doubting it, but I'm just little curious that when it is so exhausting and it is not sustainable, then still why community building is given so much of thought. Also, for the fact that since I've been in coaching for so many years, many people who come for coaching or to get coached are introverts. They don't personally like people to know what they are dealing with. Like, they like to talk to their mentors or coaches, but they don't want to share. Like, they feel shy, they feel embarrassed, they feel hesitant, to talk. So if they don't talk, and if it is just the coach or the trainer who is talking, then again, it is going to be a one-way traffic, right? Like, it's like me taking a session.
Right.
No point or idea of community building behind it. So what do you think? What do you say?
Right. So I'll just try to answer one thing at a time.
Yeah,
so no problem. So it's just that when it comes to the part of people dropping out of the community, or the sense of belonging that they had initially, which kind of goes away by time, the problems can be personal. The problems can be anything, right? They lost interest or something like that. But as a coach, it's our responsibility, even though it's exhausting at sometimes. As a coach, our responsibility is to make it engaging for them, giving transferring the beliefs and hopes that we have on that particular product consistently. So no matter if it's a free community, paid community, it's our responsibility to give them that hope, because that's who we are, right? So if I'm a person, I have X product, and my responsibility is not to just to sell them once and hope that they will take action and get the results, right? It's my responsibility to continuously give them, hey, person X joined me, and this is how much it took for him to get to X point or B point, right? And I have to continuously give this to them, no matter what stage they are in. They are engaged in the community, not engaged in the community. It's my responsibility to give them that, so that they take action, not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe a year from now, but it's my responsibility to share that beliefs and my transfer the hope to them, so that they take action someday. Of course, that's our responsibility, but we cannot spoon feed them at the same time, right? You cannot like, hey, XYZ, please do this particular thing. That's how you can transform your life. That's not our responsibility. But transferring the beliefs and hopes, yes, that's specifically what we have to do as a coach. And the next question of I'm sorry, I lost the second question.
What about these introvert people who come for, most majority of them are introverts?
Right. So when it comes to an introvert coach, let's for example say, okay, when it comes to an introvert coach, you have two contradictions. One is that you're a coach, and if you truly wanted to become a coach, you don't want to do this just for the money. You want to do it for your satisfaction, right? So when this kind of talk goes up, that's when you can engage yourself more into helping your people. Maybe it's a one-on-one call, maybe it's a group coaching call, maybe it's a platform where you do it live, right? When this goes up, that's when you can actually do this. When this goes up, when this introvert part goes up, you are not the right fit to be a coach. It's as simple as that. But as a coach, what you should realize is that what are the things which is making me feel low when I do certain things, or makes me feel that I'm an introvert, I'm not doing this specific thing, right? So just make a note of all those things and do something before or after a particular social gathering that you have to do, right? So in my case, I'm in this call right now. I'm an introvert as well. I'm being myself. I'm as if I'm talking to myself. That's how. Oh, great, right? So it's just that after this meeting, I have a good beanbag right here. I put on a nice song. I be with myself so that I can get ready for the next one, right? It's who I am. It's a part of who I am. I cannot avoid that, but I can build certain habits and practices in a way that makes me enjoy both of these. One is my introvert part, one is the part where I want to help people, right? So this is how I try to balance stuffs, and this is how I help my clients also who are introverts to come up with some kind of system that they can follow to avoid feeling low because of you're an introvert, right? And the part of this is for a coach, right? But as a coach, if I get introverts as my students, what I have to do is that understand, acknowledge that they are an introvert. They are not going to be available so much as the other folks in the people in the students or the community that we have, and we'll have to make something in a way that's self-learning for them. Or they can just switch off the camera, stay at the end of the row or something like that, which makes them feel that okay, I can also be a part of it, but I don't have to be noticed as of now. So that's the kind of experience that we'll have to build when it comes to building this coaching industry specifically. For a lot of people, they don't want to even join a WhatsApp group because they feel that the privacy is gone. So as a coach, what we'll have to do is, yes, do the WhatsApp thing and also do the email, which is personal, right? And if they don't want to be a part of a group coaching session, let them be, let the cameras be off, let them not speak, let them just chat around and ask their questions. So it's our responsibility to make them feel comfortable. At the same time, we have to build few things in order to get them results as well. It's just that how I see it.
Interesting. One strategy I came across when I asked the same question to somebody else, that one strategy which they can try is remove the people who are not active in the group.
Okay.
Or like announce this thing, like you will be removed from the group if you will not be active.
Right.
So punishment is really a big motivation.
Yeah, it works as well. Yeah. But being an introvert, right? Yes. Sometimes feel if someone pushes me too much, of course it's the balance between both, right? Sometimes they have to take action. That's how they can get results without them being engaged. Or like, say for example, you're giving them an assignment, they're not able to post this because they are introvert. Doesn't really work. You'll have to push them as a coach, but we'll have to know the limit between how far we can push and what's the kind of a limit.
Absolutely. So let's talk about advertising these coaches. What are the pros and cons of advertising coaches? We have seen those such ads on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn these days. So do you think that, first of all, at which level a coach should decide that they are ready now for paid advertisement on these platforms? That is number one. So maybe I should ask you one by one. So maybe you can answer these.
Right. So the question is when they can start with paid advertisement, correct?
Paid advertisement, yeah.
Paid advertisements. So see, when it comes to paid advertisements, there are different models of doing this again, right? So any model that you can choose, if you're sure about, yes, this is the audience, this is their problem, and this is what the market is selling already, and this is why they would choose my product and me over than anyone else. If we have that data, it's good to start with. It doesn't matter if you're a new person or a person who has a lot of influence already. If we know all these pieces, puzzle pieces, so if this is done, we can run ads no matter what funnel it is as of that moment. But it is wise for us to build something with the community again and test it out for a while and see if they are getting results, see if you're getting testimonials from them, then move on to a full-blown paid advertisement where you can be very sure of, okay, this is really going to work and this is what I'm gonna make business sense as well, right? So that's where it is.
Right. So my second question is, do you see any con side of advertisement, like advertising coaches?
So one thing that I can see is for coaches specifically, right? Sorry?
It will be harmful for them, for their branding or for building their business.
So for building their business in that aspect, I would say sometimes we would not cater to a particular kind of audience, and they would hate us for what we advertise on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, whatever it is. So we get a lot of hate comments, and again, it's just kind of a feedback loop that we'll have to work around, understand more about our audience. It's good to do surveys once in a while with the paid community, and also for the people who are joining the level 0 program of ours and not going through the next level of program, to get feedbacks. Always do some testing in place to help you build this brand, rather than, if you're getting negative comments, there's some issue with the kind of ad that you run, with the kind of landing page that you have. There's something, right? And this is just the 15 to 20% of the game, right? But the rest of the 80-85% is to do with how are you feeling, right? How are you feeling today? How is that you feel about taking a webinar today, taking a workshop today, or how you feel about your business right now? Because these are all tangible. The Facebook ads or YouTube ads, these are all tangible. The thing that is, I believe in, feelings and how it can actually impact others. So when I feel low some days, I may not get the best people on call with me, right? I do calls for my company. So when I feel good, I even though I didn't expect a sale that day would end up in a sale, right? And this I have seen through all the coaches that I work with. So like slogan conversions are lower. Of course, there's this thing as well that we'll have to encounter with Facebook changes, all the algorithm changes as well. But when my clients come to me in that tone, I was like, okay, how are you feeling right now? Like, slogan, this thing happened, that thing happened. Okay, let's fix that. So let's get on a call. What's happening? What's the kind of feeling that you have? So then, they have their own. Of course, a lot of coaches have their own system of, recovering from the set of lows. We're humans. We cannot be always happy. So it's more to do with fixing your feelings, fixing the conviction that you have. When it comes to the newbies specifically, they don't have conviction. Slogan, you're telling me to say X amount on the particular webinar or a workshop at the end of this. They don't have the conviction. If they don't have the conviction on their own product, it's very hard to sell. So we go through a different process of helping them build the conviction altogether initially. So when it comes to, advertisements and stuff like that, getting bad comments, building a brand, yes, there is this 10 to 15 or 20% where it contributes on the tangible things that we do. What is written on the ad? What do we say on the ad? What do we say on the landing pages? How the webinar is dealt, the content of the webinar is. So these play a good role, but the rest of the things is more to do with who you are as a person, how much conviction you have towards your own product, how good you feel about selling this to them, because that it is going to get them results. So that's the thing that we have to build as a coach. That's what I believe helps my clients as well.
Yes, of course, it does. I have seen that your achievements through your clients. Let's talk a little bit on the platforms like YouTube especially. Yes, I have done my ads on Facebook and Insta, but never on YouTube. And the simple funda was that people don't like watching ads on YouTube, which is why also YouTube has YouTube Premium, which I also have. So that I don't see anybody's ad. So what do you think? Like, have you tried YouTube ads? What is your
but it's the same feeling for me as well. When it comes to YouTube, somewhere I didn't like getting ads when I'm watching a video. So I was like, even though if it's a 5-second skip ads, or at a point they had 2 ads, and there are 3 ads right now, 2 in the beginning and 1 at the end, and it's been very crazy for me. That's why I didn't like when it comes to YouTube advertisements. That's why I've not tried it as of yet. But what I did implement for a couple of our clients is that when they are searching for a particular thing, as of what I've experienced with Facebook and Instagram, my experience with YouTube is just maybe 0.5%, 1% of the overall things that I did.
Great. So I want to know the expert's view.
Uh-huh.
What is the latest trend which is happening in coaching industry?
So when it comes to even the big players right now, who were doing a lot of free live events, free webinars, free this things, free that thing. Everyone had to transition to a paid webinar. I'm not talking about today, but a year back, right? Because they wanted to one, have people who have the intention to actually attend, get this problem solved. So which was one trend that I noticed a lot of people were doing, and it's really good. We're getting good intent people on the events, right? And number two, what we are experiencing right now, and these changes are happening with even the big players, is the profit margins are shrinking. Because we have to spend more money on advertisement compared to what we were doing before. So it is very it's very the best decision for the business to have high ticket products in the back end, which also it's not just the sake of just making money. It's for the sake of maybe giving personal attention to people, maybe giving more than what they were doing in the level 1 or level 2 products, right? So a lot of big coaches are coming up with 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs high tickets as well. And I've seen a lot of players coaches who are very new. They saw this profit was shrinking, and they come up with their level 2, level 3 programs as well. In a way, it helps their community again, right? It's just the latest trend that I'm watching, and yes, there is a good number of I would say not a lot, but a good number of companies, startups who are coming up to help these coaches as well. This is a different trend which is happening in the market right now. So if you have the caliber, if you have the course, and you have that skills to be a coach, then these organizations, these startups are helping them with Facebook ads, helping them with all the tools and things which are required for them to help them just deliver, make sales, and there is a split happens between the creator and between the coach and the company which they work with. So this has been the trend latest couple of trends that I see in the coaching industry.
Okay, amazing. So thanks for sharing these. Now, one thing I want to know from you. Yes, there were coaches in past, and there are more coaches who are coming up. So do you feel there is an oversupply and less demand in the market, or you feel there is still enough room for many coaches?
So I believe, it's how do I put this? It's like, let's say, for example, there's this ocean of people in India, right? And we wanted to let's consider that ocean as people as milk, right? And the coaches as the rose essence, okay? And we wanted to create a good rose milk, right? So we have maybe a tumbler or a bottle of rose essence. We wanted to make it as a good rose milk. So we have an ocean of people right here. Of course, the rose essence is going to make sense for maybe a glass of thing can be for a barrel maybe, but for an ocean of people in India, there are different things. So different things people. So in my case, I wanted to learn more about one-on-one calls. I wanted to learn more about maybe how to become a best husband. Right now, I just got married, right? So there are a lot of things that we wanted to learn about. There is nothing that is tangible for some people to learn, implement, and get results in their life. So it's not just like a degree that we do, engineering, this thing. But when it comes to coaching industries, there are different aspects of our life that we have to focus on as a human being. So these different aspects, compared to the amount of people that we have in India specifically, the ratio is very less compared to the number of people. So we still have a huge market to cover. A lot of people can still come into place. This is just, people are fighting all over India, right? Let's say, for example, life coaches, right? So there are a lot of life coaches who are fighting for the same kind of audiences, what people believe. But when you get to the regional level, there is a different market altogether, right? And when you get to the part of some people would hate me if I'm a life coach and you're a life coach. Some people would hate my face, and some people would love Dr. Anamika for being a life coach too. It's nothing to do with who I am or who you are. It's just that the people don't like someone, people like someone. So it's like, having even though there is a huge market of people for phones, nothing phone was launched, right? And there is this, for the past 4 or 5 years, a lot of different brands were launched, and there's been an increase of usage of smartphones right now. So when there is an increase of usage of smartphones, they sometimes wanted to be productive with them as well. So when we see when they see their ads on coaching industry specific to their problem, they're going to get more engaged towards what they wanted to do in their life. So it's like, we still have a huge market to cover, and Jio is coming up with a lot of free internet, and Facebook is trying to do something in Africa as well. That's going to be coming soon in India for using internet. So it's going to blow up in the next 5-10 years, and it's the right point for us to make ourselves valuable in the market and for a specific market, so that we will understand their journey of their pains and problems and what they have been through in a specific industry. Will be the best at what we do, and then we can cater to a different level altogether. So right now it's for example, life coaches fighting themselves to top cream level of people. Then it's going to become like regional things. Then it's going to become city things. Then what I believe is that the revolution of the educational system would happen, because every coach would have their own institute on a specific thing. So that's when these actual big institutes will realize, okay, I have to do something. Maybe they hire them, they get trained by them, and then they put into their colleges and institutes and stuff like that. So this is how I still see it. We still need a lot of rose essence to make this into a new good rose milk.
Amazing, great. So you mentioned a few words here like niche. So for coaches, how important it is for coaches to stick to their niche, or do you think they can go random? Like, I'm a random coach, I would say.
Right.
I do have my niche, which is like coaching other coaches, but I do like exploring other topics every month, something new, because that makes me feel good. Aaj kuch naya kiya,
Right.
Some new
see, you pointed that in the right direction as well. Of course, sticking to the same niche is important. Is important because as I just mentioned earlier, the more we travel with a particular kind of an audience, the more we would understand their problems in our expertise. So we become kind of the best at what we do. That's how we grow from a regional level to a national level to a global level, right? So that is on one end, and there are people like you, and I'm also in the same category like you, where we would like to explore a lot of things. That's my personality, right? I wanted to build things, help people. At the same time, I don't want to stick to the same thing again and again. I want to do different things as well. It's my creative part of my character that pushes me to do something different each and every time with the different people. So it's more to do with the personality. I would say when you're settled as a good coach in a particular industry, then it's wise to move in a different direction if your personality is pushing you to do so. But if at all you're new, you're juggling between 4 or 5 niches, it's okay initially if you're not very serious about or you're not relying on this coaching as your source of income, which is completely fine, because you're exploring, you're trying to understand what's fitting your personality, what's the kind of audience that I'm talking to, am I attracting the right kind of people, is the product do you have the conviction to sell this particular product? So which is completely fine in the initial stages. But when you're set and when you're serious about this thing, you stick to one thing, do your best, get to the top. I'm not saying be the top 1, top 10, just to make sure people know you because of what you do, and you have generated good money out of this. Then move on to the next one, so that you don't lose one is the personality which is pushing you, but you should not lose your savings. You should not lose your commitments that you have to do on a monthly basis. So that's something which would lead into a different mess altogether. So we don't need that, but still, yeah, it's up according to your personality. Stick to one thing. When you're serious, do your best at it. Make sure people know you, then move on to the next one. When you see there is a trend in the market, or where you see I wouldn't relate it to trend, but when you see a bigger pain than what you're doing right now, then yes, of course, do that.
Amazing. So we have come towards the conclusion. What is your message for our audiences? Because of the profile that you carry and such great experiences that you have around advertising or promoting coaches, what do you think? What kind of fears they should be not carrying along, and how much they should rely upon you? And when
rely upon
you. I mean, if they choose to work with you, they should work with you. And yes, just talk about it. What is your message?
Right. See, when it comes to anyone, any human being, any business that they do, it's just that there is always this self-doubt. No matter who the person is, maybe you're looking up to them, maybe you're in a better position than them. No matter who it is, they always have the self-doubt. It's never going to go. It's just that they have built better ways of handling it. I would put it as so. When you get that doubt of, okay, Slogan, is it really going to work for me? I did not meet my numbers last week, last month, whatever it is, or I'm not getting the number of conversions, or my students are not taking actions. It could be a lot of other things as well. And when you add your doubts to that fire, it's gonna grow there, and you're gonna have more things that you can doubt on and actually believe that this is not gonna work for you. So create a system when everyone has this fear, but you have to create a system wherein you feel you are in the right direction. So when you have that genuine thing to help others, right, even though you have that doubt, you can walk through that and actually create the changes. What I do in those times is that I read testimonials of my clients. I watch their videos of what they shared with me. I see their Instamojo, Razorpay dashboards on how much money they made. I watch their clients, students' videos. It's kind of helps me to come from that doubt point to a point. Okay, maybe I should continue doing this. Then you continue doing that with a little bit of doubt. Then you feel like, okay, something is working. Then you go there. Then again, you get back to the same point of, okay, this is not working for me. So it's just a circle of life, and we all go through this. So please have that faith in you. Create a system that can really help you to get out of this faster. That's all that you're going to get there anytime in a day, anytime in a year, right? But it's just that build a system to make it shorter. Maybe if you're doing it for 3 days for a week, try to make it shorter to 2 days, try to make it shorter to 1 hour or 20 minutes or something like that, right? So build a system and do it. And when it comes to being my client, what I would really prefer for us to do is, we are just a projection of who you are. And it's just that it's when I see coaches, they don't know the aspects of, like, say, technicalities of Facebook ads, the tools, the parts where they'll have to think about the business altogether when it comes to, as I said, level 0, level 1, level 2. So what makes profits?
Thank you so much, Slogan. And thank you for being here. Thank you for giving your wonderful time, such dedication, and so much of clarity you have given us. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.